Hi, sweeties. Today we are making stovetop barbecue pork chops. I actually started with a whole pork loin, bone-in pork loin roast that I got on sale for the cheap. I bought two and stuck one in the freezer, and I'm gonna cut my own chops from them. That is super easy. Sharp knife, cut right down through them. And now I'm gonna just cut slits just through the little fat layer there, and that's just going to help keep them from curling a bit too much as we cook them. So now we're going to brine these pork chops so they will stay juicy. I've got ice water, salt, and sugar. We will mix the kosher salt, and I'll put the amounts in the description box there. We mix some kosher salt and some granulated sugar. You can add more spices to your brine if you like. Dissolve some onion powder or garlic powder in there, but I'm just going to keep it simple this time with salt and sugar. Mix it well until they are dissolved, and then we'll add in our pork chops. In go those pork chops, and we'll put this in the fridge for a few hours, and that will help for the salt mixture to draw moisture inside the pork chops and keep them nice and juicy as they cook. The pork chops are fairly lean, so we need to add moisture in when we can. Now we're going to pat those pork chops dry, and we're just going to put them on some paper towels, and we're just going to remove the excess moisture before we season them. We don't want the water to keep our seasonings from sticking, and we'll just pat both sides dry. Now, if you have been watching Sweet Savant videos for a while, then you know what this is. Yes, my homemade seasoned salt. Be generous. Don't be stingy with the seasoning. Rub it in both sides. Well seasoned food from the start. The brine helps to keep it moist and adds a little bit of salt inside the pork chops. And now the seasoned salt, garlic, paprika, it's going to season the outside really well. I cut these pork chops about 1 inch thick. Now let's oil them up. I'm going to pour oil on the pork chops instead of in the pan. I find that there's less excess oil in the pan that way. So you just want to coat both sides evenly to keep them from sticking. And then we'll get the pork chops in a hot pan. Yes, listen for that sizzle. If it's not sizzling, you ain't cooking. Gotta have that sizzle when you are browning your meat. So let the pan get nice and hot. Let's see if we've got some good color on that pork chop. Yes, that is what we're looking for. We're going to flip them over. We're doing this in batches. You don't want to crowd your pan. You need for your pan to stay nice and hot. If you crowd your pan, you're going to lower the temperature and your pork chops are going to steam. We don't want that. So in batches, leave enough space, brown them real good, and let them sizzle. Now we're not cooking them all the way through at this point. We're just getting the outside brown and those edges, especially that layer of fat. We'll take those out of the pan, and now we will put the next batch in the pan to get those brown. Now that our pork chops are brown, let's make our barbecue glaze. I'm starting with store-bought barbecue sauce, that Sweet Baby Ray's. It was on clearance, so you know I bought like 4 bottles. A little gochujang, that's a Korean chili paste, hot and spicy. So if you like a little heat, You're going to love this. You can substitute sriracha if you like. Now a little brown sugar and mix that up, and you have a nice, thick, sweet, and spicy glaze for your pork chops. Once that sugar has dissolved, we put our pork chops back into the pan with the glaze and coat it. Any juices that came from the pork chops, we will add that right back into the pan, and then let's put it under the broiler to finish cooking. That's right, we want to get a little char on our pork chops, so we'll put them underneath our broiler. I put my broiler on high and put a little flame on them. Oh, isn't she lovely? Look at those beautiful pork chops, seared so beautifully, just about 2 minutes on each side. Watch them closely so they don't burn. Make sure you check the internal temperature with an instant read thermometer. The USDA says you can cook pork to 145 for rare. I don't particularly care for rare pork. I'm going to take it up to 160, which is considered medium. You still want them to be juicy, and that brine helps to keep your pork chops juicy and well cooked. Look at that. Look at that. Juicy. That's right. Delicious pork. It cooks quickly, so just watch the temperature and enjoy. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell, and have a delicious day.